Now, that takes us to verses 29 and 30, just that brief summary. And we looked already at the purpose of salvation in verse 29. Let me touch it lightly. The purpose is to conform us. This is the secondary purpose, the penultimate. To conform us to the image of His Son. His secondary purpose, God's secondary purpose in saving people through all of redemptive history, His secondary purpose was to conform them to the image of His Son. And it is maybe best to be understood in this way. The whole of redemptive history is about the Father seeking a bride for His Son. The Father loves the Son. He loves the Son perfectly. He wants to give to the Son a gift of love. That gift will be a redeemed humanity that constitute a loving bride, a loving, submissive, joyous bride. And so all through redemptive history, the Father is drawing the bride. Drawing the bride. Even when we get to heaven, the New Jerusalem is called the bridal city. It comes down out of heaven as a bride adorned for her husband. The church is seen to be the bride. The redeemed are the bride. Even the believing in Israel of old were the wife of Jehovah, to be the wife of the Son. So the Father is seeking a bride. There's a price for the Son to pay, as there was in ancient times. When you took a bride, you paid a price for that bride. And the price the Son was to pay was His own life, not silver and gold, as Peter says, but the precious blood that flowed in His own veins as He gave up His life to pay the purchase price for the bride that the Father had desired to give Him. And so what is going to be heaven is going to be the collection of the bride brought to the bridal city. When the bride is complete, redemptive history will end, and all the bride will gather around the Son. They will love Him, adore Him, serve Him, worship Him, and with another element, they will reflect His glory. They will be in His image. We've looked at that in detail, so we won't cover it anymore. That's the secondary purpose. Then the primary purpose, the ultimate, in verse 29, so that He, the Lord Jesus, would be the preeminent one among many brethren. The ultimate goal is the preeminence of Christ. In the end, God will give Him a name above every name. And at His name, every knee will bow. What is the purpose of redemptive history? The Father loves the Son, determines to give a bride as a gift of love to the Son that will serve Him and adore Him and worship Him and love Him and reflect His glory. And in some way, the reflection of that glory is greater than it would be without the redemption of that bride. If for no other reason than the fact that they will demonstrate something that without them would never be demonstrated, and that is the grace of God. In order for God to put all the panoply of attributes on display that are part of His grace and mercy, He has to redeem unworthy sinners. And that's the purpose of salvation. In the end, we'll give all glory to Christ. We'll cast our crowns, as they did in Revelation, at His feet. We'll confess Him as Lord, preeminent one. That's the purpose of salvation. In the end, Christ will be all in all. And then you know how the story really ends. After the bride has been presented to Christ for His glory and His honor, Christ will take Himself and the bride and return them all to the Father in an act of reciprocal love. It's a staggering thing to be caught up in this.